All right, here I'm going to go over simple probability or basic probability just a little bit. When I say simple probability, I really mean that it's just one event. And it really just means that one thing is happening. I'm spinning this spinner one time, and I want to see if I get a number that's less than or equal to 3. So if I spin it a second time, that becomes compound probability, which I'm going to go over in another video. This is just dealing with one event. And probability in general is defined as the favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. And when I say favorable, I don't necessarily mean it's good. I mean it's really whatever the problem is talking about, whatever you're trying to find the probability of. A number less than or equal to 3. In this spinner, out of all of these options, thinking about favorable outcomes means we're going to get something that's less than or equal to 3, which means 3, 2, or 1. There are 3 options that are less than or equal to 3. Those are the favorable outcomes. The total outcomes are all the numbers on the spinner, which is 8. So the probability that we get a number less than or equal to 3 on this is 3 out of 8. If you can simplify that, you want to, that should be your final answer. 3 out of 8 doesn't simplify, so that's our final answer for this one. What's the probability of spinning an odd number or a red number? So we want to think about anything that's odd or red. So we have an odd number, odd number, odd number, odd number, and actually the red numbers are included. This one red wedge here is included in the odd numbers. So when it says odd or red, that really just includes these 4 options. 4 are the favorable outcomes out of the total of still 8. This does simplify. I'm going to divide that by 4, divide that by 4, and that turns into 1/2. So there's a 50% chance. You could also write it as a percent or as a decimal, actually, 0.5. There's a 50% chance or a 1/2 chance that we get a number that's either odd or red. The word or is still just implying that one event is happening. So there should be more to this sentence also if another event is happening, but usually the word and will indicate that a second thing is happening. If we spin it twice and we get an odd number and a red number, that's 2 separate events. We're talking about spinning it the first time and getting an odd, spinning it the second time and getting a red. This is saying or on one spin, what's the chance that we get an odd or a red? That's just one spin, which is 1/2. What is the probability of rolling a number less than or equal to 3 on a die? A die has 6 options, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Less than or equal to 3 means 3, 2, or 1. That's 3 out of 6. There's 6 possible options. 3 of them are less than or equal to 3. This does simplify. I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3. That also turns into 1/2. What is the probability of randomly choosing a red M&M? So red is my favorable outcome. And then I want to think about my total outcomes on the bottom. That is generally how we describe really all probability. The favorable outcomes, choosing a red, over the total. So there are 3 reds here. Out of each of these is a set of 3. Oops. And there's 6 different colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm really going to think about that as 6 times 3. Or 18. There's 18 M&Ms altogether. So the probability that I choose one randomly and it's a red is 3 out of 18. If I were to look into the bag and I'm specifically going for a red, that's not probability. That's choosing a red M&M. This is talking about randomly choosing an M&M out of the bag without looking. That is a 3 out of 18 chance, or I'm going to simplify that, divide by 3 on top and bottom. That gives me a 1 out of 6 chance, which kind of makes sense. There's an even amount of each of these colors, and there's 6 different colors. All right, so we have that same bag of M&Ms. What is the probability of randomly choosing an M&M that is not yellow or orange? All of those words are pretty important there. We're looking for something that's not yellow or orange. So that could be the blue ones. Could be the brown ones. There they look a little bit black, but it could be the green ones, or it could be the red ones. Any of the ones that are not yellow or orange. So I'm ruling those out. I still have my total of 18. And now I'm thinking about how many are in these groups. 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's say not Y or orange. Not yellow or orange. That's 12 out of 18. And since these are both even numbers, I know I can simplify that a little bit. I'm going to do it in a couple steps. I'm going to divide by 2. That gives me 6 out of 9. And I know that 3 goes into both of those. So I'm going to divide by 3 and divide by 3. That gives me 2/3. I have a 2/3 chance, or a 66.6% chance of picking something that's not yellow or orange.